Hello and welcome to Watch Me Code. I am Cameron Vizdani, and in this video series we are going to create a nice and professional and full of functionalities, or let's call it the most advanced CMS built with ReactJS, and we will call it Zuz CMS. So let's get started. Let's create a new terminal, clear, and go inside cd ssd, sorry, cd ssd volumes, cd ssd, and cd watch me code, because I have created a folder with my all of projects. So let's go inside Finder, and we need to create npx create react app, and let's call it Zuz, because we are going to call it Zuz CMS. And the reason for creating this CMS is I am using a lot of features in my all of recent projects I am currently working on, and I have came up with this you can call it fluffy idea. Why not create my own CMS and use this CMS in my future projects, so I don't have to set up all these components for UI, for core functionalities again and again for each new project. So let's go inside cd Zuz and yarn start. Oh, I don't want to start in this video. Instead, I want to start inside this window actually. So let's great. So here we are. We have a nice app.js setup. So now I need to open this project inside my VS Code folder, SSD, and inside watch me code we have Zuz. Open. Here we go. Let me bring inside the recording screen, and I need to dock here. Perfect. So we have this nice screen. So let's go inside source and open the app.js, and here we go. But before using the app.js or editing any of this files, let's go inside public index.html and change the title from React app to Zuz and save. Great. So if we go back to localhost, we have Zuz. Let's go inside the terminal and Control C or Command C. We need to kill the app, and we need some dependencies to go with which we need inside this CMS. And the first thing is yarn add, and we need a couple of things. First of all, we need a node sass add, and we will use the version 4.14.1, and we will well, let's go with node sass first. And while it is being installed, we need couple of more packages. We need React Redux, we need Redux and Redux Thunk, and we will use React idle timer because we need to manage these sessions per page or per project. So let's add yarn add and Axios MD5 for MD5 hashing the strings. We will use to store temporarily tokens because we are not going to use that MD5 inside or more sensitive data. It is just for creating the hash for the string. We will well, I will explain it later as we use it. And I need Redux React Redux, and we need Redux dash Thunk. We need a secure ls because we are going to securely store inside our local storage or cookies. And I need React idle timer, and we need one more thing, that is the famous router, that is React router dash DOM. And I guess we are okay for now, so let's go and hit return, and all the required packages will be installed just right away. So it's been a long time since I am recording the tutorial or any of my lectures because I was busy in some project and it was oh great. So well, I am back and we will continue inshallah these videos regularly, and we will build our CMS, and then we will continue all of my old projects or tutorial or courses, and we will rebuild it on this Zuz CMS. So let's go and type clear return, and now I need to type yarn start again, and it will start the development server again, and we are back on track. So let's go inside VS Code, and for the app.js we need to import a couple of things. Just remove app for now, and let's import provider from React Redux. Well, if you are an Redux expert, then please, I humbly request to ignore if I am using the very basic technique or maybe implementation, because we are building the CMS and we will improve it with time and with advanced features. We have to stick with basics so that we can quickly complete this CMS and implement in real projects, and then we will improve it with each of our project. By the way, I am going to push this project in a repo on GitHub, and I will share the link in description, of course. And so go back to coding, and I need a store. So I will create a folder inside our source folder and call it Redux, because I will keep the store and reducers here. And for the Redux, the first thing I need to create is the store. So let's create a new file, store.js, and inside the store.js I need to create a store and apply middleware from Redux, because we are going to implement Redux Thunk as middleware, and for that I need apply middleware. Import Thunk from Redux Thunk, and I need to import reducers, but for now just export default create store, and we have our reducers and apply middleware, that is Thunk. By the way, if you are not familiar with Thunk is actually a middleware to provide a callback whenever we are going to update our state inside Redux. So really quickly create one more folder inside Redux and call it reducers. And for the reducers, we need to create index.js from where we will export over all of reducers in any of our project. So sorry, I need to import combine reducers from Redux, and now we need to export a default combine reducers, and it will accept an object. And for object, I need to create reducers. First of all, we need our basic reducer that will hold our app states, like if app is loaded, either we want to show splash, or if the app is actually loaded, we need to present the user actual UI. So create app.js, and inside the app.js we need to add a const initial state equals, and debug should be true because we are inside the debug mode, and maybe we will create environment variable if we are inside a production build or not. So we will add if the app is loaded, and we should keep it false, and we will use a session, and session variable will hold if the user is either signed in or not. And if the user is signed in, of course we will authenticate it with our backend, and for backend we will going to use the PHP. And for the session expiry, let's call it session expired equals false. And for now, this is it. Really quickly export default function, and the default state is initial state, and the action will be passed by the reducer. So let's call it switch action dot type, and for action dot type, if the state is app underscore state, because we're not going to create each and every case for our every action, I will rather use this global state type thing, because if we want to update the app reducer state, I will just call this app state, and for that I will just return with old state, and we will merge it with action.state. Great. And for a default, we need to return this state. This is it, and save. Now back to the combine reducer and import app from reducers. Sorry, because we are in same folder, let's call it app, and we will just export default combine reducers and save. Import all the reducers from current folder and save. Great. Now I need to close it, and for store we need these reducers. So let's import reducers from reducers, and this way we will be able to pass these reducers inside this create store. So let's save and go back to app, and for the app I need to import this store as app store, it is actually you can't just refer it with the Apple, oh sorry, Mac App Store. Well, I guess that was a bad joke, because I'm expert in passing the bad joke. So we need to import the App Store from Redux and store, and we need the function app that is our default function, and export default app. Well, you are wondering why I have removed that function app, and again I have typed the app because it is just for a self-satisfaction that I have typed each and everything with my own bare hands. Let's return provider, oh sorry, and for provider it needs a store. Let's pass the app store, and again we need the actual app, which will be source new file, and let's call it Zuz app.js. And inside that Zuz app we actually need the connection with Redux, and that will hold our actual app structure, and we will use actually our routing and all that. So let's go and add hello world and save, import that Zuz app from Zuz app, and just pass that Zuz app inside the provider and save. Go back to localhost, and here we go, we are back on track. I don't need to add anything inside our main app.js, just close it. And for the Zuz app I need to connect it with the Redux. To check if we are connected with Redux, just console.log props. This way we will be able to check the props are coming from actual Redux reducer, and it has an object, and object is empty because it is actually expecting these props from this app.js, and we have not providing any prop. Let's say we call it name, and the name should be Cameron Rajdhani, and save. And now I have this prop, but I don't need to keep adding random props because we are going to use Redux. Go inside the Zuz app, and we need to import the connecting, because the connection to connect your any component, you need to import connect, and from React Redux. And for React Redux we need a couple of constants. First of all, let's call const map state to props, and for that we are expecting a state, because the state will be returned in this map state to props. So I will pass state.app, and next we need const map dispatch, because the dispatch can only handle the reducer state, which you can't just directly edit the reducer state or a Redux state. You need a dispatcher, and for that we have map dispatch to props. So for that I will just return set state, and for that I will pass state equals, and for that state just dispatch by using this dispatch, and for dispatch I will pass an object, and the type will be app underscore state. And the state will be dot state, because this way we will use the famous React on a set state, but it is not a set state from React class component. It is just you can call it, we are using our own set state, but let's call it set state to not get confused with any new keyword. Great. Now the Zuz app is still not connected with the Redux because the props are still returning empty. To do that, we need to use the connect, and for connect, it first expects map state to props, and it can expect match dispatch to props, and after that you need to just pass the component name Zuz app and you are done. Now if you just reload, now you can see the props are coming from the app reducer, and because we are using the combined reducer, whenever we will add more reducers, it will keep combining and exporting from index. Now it is that simple. Now I need to go inside source and call it a new folder, and for that new folder let's call it images, and the images will keep our default images. And first of all I need to copy the Zuz logo, and the logo should be copied here, logo.png, and I need one more thing, new folder, and for new folder we will add let's call it pages, because we are using or creating a web app, we will use these pages. And I have planned to create this same CMS for React Native, and for that we will use pages later, keep my words. So let's go inside pages and call a splash.js to create a nice splash RSF. And for splash we will use name class name, and let's call it splash. And this is the time to import our famous logo from images, logo.png, and just add image source logo and save. Now I need to go inside Zuz app and import the pages, import splash from pages and splash. Here we go. And for that just return the splash for now, just to check if we are on track. It says logo.png does not match the corresponding norm on low. Oh, sorry, that is my mistake, and I apology. The logo L is lowercase, and save. Here we go. Now this is the time to create the CSS, because we are using the SAS, so we will use the SCSS extension. We need to create a folder, call it CSS, and inside I will use app.scss. If you are following or have watched my previous videos, you may found familiar methods I am adding inside this Zuz CMS, because I am trying to implement as simple as possible methods to keep adding inside this CMS, so that if you are a beginner to React, you should find it easy, and if you are an expert, I will need your contribution, of course. So here we go. We have a CSS and app.scss, And I need one more CSS, that is props.scss. And as you know, if you are following my previous videos, we are I'm using that props.scss to keep the global classes that are reusable, so I don't have to, let's say I need to add the font size 14 in 10 elements. I don't have to keep adding font dash size 14 pixels in each 10 elements CSS. Instead, I have to create one global class inside props.scss, and I will pass that as class. The bootstrap, the famous bootstrap works almost this similar way, but we need to keep the JavaScript side of CSS away from our CMS. So I have to import or use the simplest solution for the global classes. So I need to create one more CSS and call it colors.scss, and in this colors SCSS I will add the global colors so that you can just use the color themes or theme color maybe. So let's add $theme color, and the theme color should be, let's start with our red and just copy background red, and for red we will just pick this hash code. We will change it later, but for now just use this theme color as global. And inside props I don't have to add anything for now, and inside app.scss we need to import colors.scss, and we need to import props.scss. If you have noticed, I have imported the colors.scss before props. The reason is I need to make the colors variable global so that it can be accessed inside props or app scss, because it is already included, by the way. Well, that was another bad joke. So let's go inside props, and for now just add ABS, and the ABS will be for position absolute. Great. Oh, maybe I am talking great again and again. Maybe it annoys you, but ignore it. And I need to add ABC, and it will be position absolute center. For that we will use top 15%, left will be 50%, and transform translate will be -50% and -50%, and save. Go inside a splash, and now I need to add this nice ABS and ABC, and this way we can I need to import that app.scss inside import app.scss. I guess I should keep it as a last import SCSS, and save. And now I need to import it from CSS, and here we go. You can see we have over this splash, the center of our screen, and this way we have saved not only our code, we have saved our time, and we have saved the performance thing. We have this ABS global property that has position absolute, and we will use this ABS class anywhere inside our project or CMS, and I have just passed it as class name. So once again, I would like to remind that you are creating the awesome. It is awesome, or well, make it awesome. This is it for this video, and in next video we will create the routing. So see you in next